What up? What up? What up? Good morning. It is 7 a.m. where I'm from. It's early, but I'm an early bird. I'm always up anyway. And we're live. It's Thursday, August 19th, and we've got an awesome guest again today, as always. But I'm excited to hear about her experience and journey on online, specifically with just her massive influx of leads and sales that she was able to accomplish basically right out the gate, which is pretty cool. And we'll just kind of unpack her journey and story and, driving for DoorDash and all kinds of crazy crap that she had going on. And it's just, life is fun, and I'm excited to hear her story. I love hearing people's stories about where they're at in life, what they're up to. And yeah, if you're tuning in with us live here, I've got Amber, I've got Lori, I've got Jim, I've got Susan, who else? Olga, Felix. Say what's up and let us know where you're tuning in from. We've got people from all over the world, and it's always fun to see where everybody's watching from. Yeah, let's rock. Let's get Cheyenne in here. What's happening? How are you?
Morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Do you go by? Okay, so do you go by? There's a girl here in Phoenix who has the same name, and she goes by. I thought Shay, but it's actually she goes by like Che.
Oh, I was gonna guess Shy, but no, I usually have gone by Shay. I had a lot of friends close to me in high school call me Shay, and it just kind of
Cool.
stuck a little bit.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, so you're in Oklahoma. Are
Yeah.
you born and raised?
No, raised maybe. I kind of settled here, well, eighth grade. But
Okay.
besides that, I didn't stick with one school or one place for more than a year. I lived in California, Missouri, was born in Colorado, kind of bounced around for a little bit for a while. But a lot of my time has been spent here in Oklahoma. I love Oklahoma.
Cool. Nice. Awesome. All right. Well, bring us into your world a little bit. So take us to you started your questionnaire with a little bit of like, here's I had a full-time job. I had a DoorDash thing I was doing. Just tell us a little bit about that and sort of why you started looking online, or how did you hear about us and sort of online marketing?
Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty cool story for me. I had the type of dad who was all about the hustle. He wanted me to go to the military and stuff. He worked three jobs when he had me and my brother. So when I was 16, I was working two jobs. And then,
Gee.
but at that point, by the time I was 20, it wasn't for fun anymore. And, now I'm, like you said, door dashing. I'm a manager at 7-Eleven in the morning, and I work as a bud tender because it's medical here
Nice.
in the evening until 10, and then I'll DoorDash until early morning. There was a time I actually had just had my daughter. She was like 4 or 5 months old. I hadn't even seen her for almost a week. I think I only saw her
Jeez.
for like 4 waking hours. And that's when I knew I needed to make a change, was that
Hmm.
week right there. And then I met Taylor Couch. If you're a part of this world, you probably have heard of her. But she handed me Rich Dad Poor Dad before I even heard of really this marketing thing that she was doing. She handed me Rich Dad Poor Dad. She said, read this book, and I was really interested in it. She told me about Legendary Marketer, and I just hopped on, and I've been really enjoying it since. I quit all my jobs. I'm full faithful into this online world. I know you don't have to work your life away. It was pretty rough having to work the hours that I had to with a
Dang.
daughter and her dad being out of town because he's a roofer. So that's not what I wanted for my daughter, was to be raised by her grandparents. Hell no.
Right.
So
Wow, that's crazy. That's cool. And also good for it. So do you have one kid?
yeah,
Cool.
she is 15 months.
Cool. Congrats. That's super cool. And good for you to like claim that time back. That's super cool. So you interesting. What about Rich Dad Poor Dad stood out to you? I'm so curious.
Because my dad is literally the poor dad, and Taylor's dad is literally the rich dad. And it was right there in front of me. I mean, like my dad, he's not poor. I mean, he's like a senior executive engineer somewhere, like some fancy job. But, you know, he's in that tax bracket that really, you know, I don't know much about taxes, but I know he's in the wrong tax bracket.
Yeah.
And just, you know, it's still, they're saving 20% of their paychecks for retirement. And they still live a good life, but it's not what passive income I learned can bring.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Taylor's dad is into the real estate and the business and didn't even finish high school, and it's just like big balling. And so it was a perfect example right there for me. You know, I have an expensive taste, so I know my family does too, and my daughter will, and you know how the world keeps getting bigger and bigger. You got to keep up. So
Yeah, cool. That's interesting because I do feel like a lot of times when people read things like Secrets of the Millionaire Mind or Rich Dad Poor Dad, that's actually a thing that I've heard people say about Rich Dad Poor Dad is I resonated so much with it because it was like that's kind of the life I grew up in, and that's the parent. And I do feel like um, sort of shifting generationally. I bet that probably like having your daughter probably like amplified that. My guess is. Do you think?
100%. I mean, before my daughter, I didn't even care where I was going. So 100%.
Yeah, for sure. I sort of feel like there's this element to which like once you have kids, but I've felt that without kids. Like I don't have any kids. Like we're thinking about it maybe someday.
It's good.
But like I felt that feeling of like, well, geez, like because I have the poor dad too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um and I do sort of feel like there's an element where the generational shift needs to happen at some point. And I kind of had the same takeaway when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was like, oh my gosh, like this makes so much sense. I never
Right.
thought of this.
Exactly.
So you come online, you get started, you do the challenge, you kind of like feeling this out. Um, what was sort of your plan of action, or what is your plan of action? What have you been up to?
Honestly, right now, me and Taylor have a whole idea box. We're meeting up with this lady who will teach us how to make like planners and do the coffee mugs and just digital products. So we're trying to move from the affiliate marketing step to the digital product step and then market
Sweet.
that.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Because what I end
And
up wanting to do is being able to teach people how to do this stuff, you know, start with affiliate marketing and then just like you guys are doing. I mean, that's the whole point of Legendary Marketer, right?
that's really cool. So you mean like create an online digital product that people can purchase, like video courses and stuff?
That and like planners
Like
and
full blown physical product too.
yeah, or just
Cool.
like I've seen on like Etsy and stuff, people can print them out themselves and for like $6, and there's opportunity everywhere.
Yes, of course. That's awesome. That's really cool. So what sparked the idea for that? Are you like a creative type, or have you thought about doing this before?
I guess like I have the creative type, you know, she is kind of more of like the professional, talks, has the meeting and stuff, and then I will create it on Canva. So I guess I have the creative type part of it. I don't
Cool.
mind building little Instagram posts and making them cute and like little YouTube edits and stuff. So hopefully I can build that skill and we can make something out of that little team.
That's awesome. I feel like, look, what I tell people all the time, like we've interviewed some young people, and
I'm
you're
scared.
so young too. Like typically, what I tell people who are like under 30 is like you have so much freaking time.
I
Like
know.
if I was 22 again, you're 22.
Yeah.
If I was 22 again, I would just dive into absolutely everything. I would figure out absolutely, and I did. but I did it stupidly. I got into debt doing it. But if I could do it again, I would basically, save a good portion of my money, and I would just try random high risk stuff that's probably going to fail, but like has the chance to like open me up to something I didn't see before, or be a huge new opportunity or something like that. Um, just because all of that experience combined ends up growing a huge skill set, like in multiple different industries. Like for me, I was doing ads agencies, I was doing social media marketing, I was doing video content creation, I was doing like all of this different stuff, and it piled up over years into like a really great skill set that like I'll never have to worry like, ooh, can I find a job, or could I find a high paying job? Like if it came down to it and that was my only option, I could go out and find a really high paying job, probably a 6-figure job, like quickly, um, because of the skill sets that I've built. And because instead of like just spending a bunch of time at college and doing nothing but college, I actually like cut my teeth and put my money on the line and got some experience. So
Right.
like, I just think that that's super cool. And, yeah, what like how far are you into the idea process, or is it just at the surface level idea?
I mean, like, how far out am I
In
thinking?
like the planners and stuff, like are you guys like ready to create and ship, or are you still in like the very
Oh yeah,
base
we're
level?
still in the very, yeah.
So,
We were looking in ourselves how to actually print. Like, we know how to create a design for it, we know what the idea is, but how do we actually get it printed on paper and make it look nice and get the tabs, spirals and all that. So she has a call with somebody who actually does that, because I've also realized that outsourcing can do a lot for you too.
yeah.
um if you can't just quite get it down, there's no shame in that for sure. But yeah, it's just the beginning thought. We've been really
Nice.
focusing on trying to get the affiliate marketing down. We're still just months into this.
Yeah. Literally.
And like you said about cutting your teeth, it doesn't really intimidate me much to like just hop into this, because like you said about the hopping into the digital world, that's with me doing all these different jobs. I caught on rather quickly to all these. So what different? It can't be too much different, right? Just
That's a really good point. Is like people forget that they get into jobs and become competent really fast, but like they come online or they start something entrepreneurial and they have suddenly all this self-doubt. And the
yeah,
reason is because like the entrepreneurial stuff is such a big bet on yourself. Like it's all about you and yourself. And now suddenly you're able to self-sabotage all of that if you've got like internal issues, right? Like you've
right.
got internal baggage or something, suddenly like you can self-sabotage all of that. Whereas we're in a job, if you start to do that, like you're gonna potentially like ruin the life of somebody else. So it's a little bit harder sometimes to like do that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, that's a
interesting.
great way to look at it for sure.
What
It is scary doing it yourself. There's been a lot of things that took me hours to figure out, and it really didn't have to. And I'm like, but it can
Yeah.
be tough doing it yourself. But luckily for me, I guess I'm really not. I had Taylor, luckily to be really, we work with each other, and it's nice. And I know not everybody who gets into this journey has that. So, um,
Super rare.
yeah, so it's really nice that I'm very grateful for that for sure.
Yeah. So you hop online, okay, and you have one of the most rare experiences. Like you generate just a ridiculous amount of leads. Um, Tell us, it was a little bit of a unicorn kind of moment, but tell us like what happened that day where you were like, you started up your TikTok, you posted, like tell us about that day where you just got on TikTok and started posting, and what were your results like?
Yeah, I literally, like, I don't know if I mentioned this yet. I made a TikTok right when I was starting affiliate marketing. So I only had this TikTok for like 3 days. My first two videos weren't doing the best. They were kind of my own idea. And then I just went to the trends. Like I said, I was new to TikTok, and then boom, of course, trends. So I was trying to get a host of trends, caught onto a good trend, and I guess it was just good timing. And it was at like 1 a.m. and then it went viral, and a lot of leads and commissions came in. And so it really just takes that one video to change
Did you
everything.
just, yeah, did you just wake up and you were just like,
99 plus notifications. I was like, oh, so shoot. It was awesome. It was awesome. I felt great. I felt it definitely makes you pumped. It makes you see the potential of this path and how successful it can be. So it was great.
that's super cool. That does not happen to most people.
Really?
That's really cool. What when you create content and stuff, like you said, you're having issues with sometimes with the
Community guidelines. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Is there any trends that you've picked up on as to why that's happening, or any tips on what have you learned in that process?
I realized that TikTok really doesn't like it when I use dollar signs. So it sounds really weird, but like I can't use dollar signs. I can't mention. They hate when I mention money. I was literally saying $10 an hour in a video,
Mm,
and it took it down, and it was
yep.
crazy. So I just put a lot of my personal experience and really just trying to personalize my page now. Me working all those jobs, now me having time with my daughter. Like I said,
Cool.
my husband is out of town a lot, so it's really nice when he comes back into town because it's really random a lot. I don't
Mm,
usually know when he comes back, and I get to spend time with him. I'm not on the schedule, and I'm like, well,
mm.
crap, I have to work all weekend that you're back, you know. So
That's cool.
I lost track there, but
Yeah, just what did you? Yeah, you learned dollar signs, stuff like that. I
yeah,
feel like
dollar signs. So just personalize it. You know, I've seen other people who've been pretty successful with it. They just say that they got to quit their 9 to 5. You know, they don't mention how much they make.
yep.
And honestly, I think that's probably for the best, anyways.
Hmm.
But because they don't want it to seem like MLM, you know,
Yeah.
this isn't. And you know, Taylor, who has been full faith into Legendary Marketer, she hates when people call it MLM. You know, she knows what it is, and she will definitely argue for that.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like that's so funny. The when you go online and you first start out and you're getting going and the wheels are starting to turn and stuff, I feel like that figuring out the algorithms, or figuring out there's this way to sort of say it without saying it, right? And
Right.
this is true in like any sort of niche or industry, like in weight loss, or in make money online is the obvious one, or like so when it comes to like, and the reason they do that is because different like regulators like the FTC have things, barriers set up to kind of keep people within like reason, so that people aren't making like aggressive promises, and then people purchase and spend a bunch of money and lose out, and they say that person got scammed because they were misled. And
Right.
so there's specifics. I think that one thing that would be really helpful for most of our like TikTok community would actually be to like go look up like FTC advertising guidelines. And it's super helpful because most of the platforms design their policies after that. Like they sort of regulate content based on that. So like the whole dollar signs, not dollar signs specifically, but like X amount per day or X amount per hour, earn X per day, whatever, earn 6 figures a year or whatever.
Right.
Like sometimes that squeaks by, but typically like their algorithm is designed to pick that up and be like, no, 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 you can't say that.
Yeah.
And so what I tell people is once you sort of learn that, then uh, from that point on, you can sort of figure out the words and how to word things, which actually is kind of cool because it also makes your marketing overall even more compliant.
Better. Right.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely. Sorry. Excuse me. I was dealing with it at first, and then, like you said, I was just kind of like figuring out how to properly word it without making it seem however they were making it.
Yeah.
However they were getting mad at it, I was just trying to tiptoe around them,
Right.
wrong.
Yeah, I think that here's like one really good tip is there's this guy Spencer Meekum, and his TikTok is Spencer Hacks, and he just does a really good. Sometimes he says like $200 a day from Amazon or something, but typically he's just saying like here's a side hustle that could pay you full time, or like here's a side hustle that here's a side hustle with no competition that could earn you a high a high 5-figure salary or something like that, right? So it's a little bit less. And his videos, man, they always go viral. They always, it's just like it's crazy, but
Just perfect copyright.
It's all copywriting.
That's what I'm trying to get more into too, is copywriting, because
yeah. Have you gone through the copywriter's playbook?
No, we have.
It's in the blue. You have the blueprints, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the blueprints, if you go to the affiliate marketing blueprint, you scroll all the way down.
Oh.
There's a whole course. I actually do the course, but there's a whole course in there on copywriting, and you'd love it. It helps on video creation a lot.
I will definitely check it out today, actually.
Nice. Yeah, it's a course that we've sold in, but we put it in the blueprints so that people could, kind of combine whatever funnel they're working with a copywriting skill, because TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, like all of those things, like getting more clicks and getting more views is all just like how to grab somebody's brain basically and hook it,
Yeah. And that's why I think anybody who wants to get into marketing or creating content for sure needs to look up copyright for sure. Some type of copyright. When I was doing my legendary 15-day challenge, and some days you had to wait. Sorry, my daughter's waving at me. Sometimes you have to wait to be approved by a business plan advisor. And I would just go to this other website that had copywriting free courses and just do that while I was waiting to be approved for my next course. So, because I was Olivia something, I don't know. She was on Wake Up Legendary.
Yeah, Olivia. Yes.
Yeah. I watched one of her videos actually because my business plan advisor told me to go watch some of the Wake Up Legendary videos. I watched her video about copywriting that she was already in college for, and I was like, okay, so I went and looked it up. It was like perfect to find that.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's no secret that she's got. I haven't looked at her. I haven't looked at her channel in a while, but it was. I think hers. Might be thinking of the wrong person, but I think hers was at like 300 to 400,000 followers or something.
Yeah, she has 300, I think, right now.
Yeah, it's like once you learn copywriting and you really become crazy about copywriting, it's kind of cool that you can become successful on like any platform, because it's such a powerful skill, and it translates over to so many different things: writing sales letters, titling planners on Amazon, if you're selling planners on Amazon, like everything that and like search engine optimization, like knowing how to title things and word things so that they get ranked on Google or YouTube or Amazon, like that can be a really, really powerful skill. That's crazy. And I think probably what's next at some point is learning how to do that audible with like Siri or Amazon Alexa, or that's probably a few years down the road, but at some point, like Google is going to, or Apple's going to release their glasses, and having the ability to create products, for instance, that like will rank in a search engine term with like how people speak. So it's going to change from how would somebody type this into Google to how would somebody say it out loud, right? And so like somebody puts on their new Apple glasses, which by the way, they filed for a patent and they're probably going to release them in the next year or two. and you just wear a pair of eyeglasses, and it will have like camera on it, screen, like everything, and
Wow.
they actually look pretty cool. Um, and at that point, people are gonna be able to like either tap or just say like, shop for motivational planner, and or shop for they might even get more specific, a motivational planner for my daughter, right?
Right.
And how they do shopping auto anyway, the skills adapt over time, but the main core skill of copywriting doesn't really change. It's a powerful skill.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just went on a little tangent there of
No, I mean, like
I
I
was
said,
reading about
copywriting is
Apple.
important.
I was like randomly reading last night in bed about Apple and how every time Apple releases or launches a new product, there's all these companies that build those products, right? So like when the iPad first got released, this company AMD built all the chips for the iPad, and so AMD stock exploded. When the iPhone came out, a certain company, maybe Nvidia or something, made all the chips for that, and their stock exploded way more than Apple's did. And now, so they're kind of I was reading some speculation about who's going to make the chips for the glasses, and what, because
Right.
I'm interested in investing. I don't do it a lot, but I'm just super
Just
interested in it.
interested in it.
But there's
Hey,
always
it's good
sort
to
of,
be interested in that stuff.
yeah, there's always sort of these, hidden things behind the scenes that most people aren't looking for. Most people are just buying Apple, like, oh, I should just buy Apple stock because they're never going to die.
Right.
Anyway, so now that you've been in the game for a little bit, a few months, you're moving, you're shaking, you're making some money, you've built a huge email list. What would you tell people who are just getting started themselves? Like maybe because I hear some people who are hesitant or skeptical to get going.
Mhm.
I hear people who are like, they feel nervous about maybe creating video content. Like for somebody who's newer to the game, what would you say to them?
Um, Taylor's video that got almost a million views had a bunch of hate comments at first, and then it blew up. So don't be afraid of hate comments. That will help your algorithm. Olivia, like I was saying, her videos aren't 4K. She never does anything crazy. She's usually just talking to a camera, and like we said, she has 350,000 followers. So get into copyright, and it really, don't be scared, because the longer that you're afraid, the longer you're just not gonna do it, and you're not gonna be making money. And there's more people getting into this game every day. There's young people getting into this game every day. Competition gets bigger every day. So waiting another day is not gonna do any good for you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I love it. Well, thanks for coming on, Cheyenne. And if you need anything from us, like I'm open. You can hit me up anytime. Happy to help or give advice, or whatever you need.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. I
Awesome,
appreciate Legendary Marketer.
awesome. Well, have a good rest of your what day is today? Thursday. Yeah,
Thursday.
and have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too. Thank you, guys.
See ya. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your Thursday. We'll be back here again tomorrow on Friday. I'm pretty confident about that. Um, uh, we have our decade in a day, so we should be back here tomorrow again, same time, same place. Go give Shay a follow, and have a good rest of your Thursday. We'll see you next time.